I was born in darkness. It's not a metaphor. It's not a figure of speech. What I mean is, I came into this world and the two people who were supposed to be my safe place weren't. My mother existed. She just wasn't there. She showed up long enough to make a promise, and then she was gone before I could hold her to it. Over and over again, this happened. That was the first thing I ever learned about love, that it makes promises it never intends to keep. The man who raised me stayed. And I want you to understand something. Sometimes the one who stays is more dangerous than the one who leaves. He was a covert narcissist. Not the loud, obvious kind. The kind that looks like love. The kind that makes you think you're crazy for feeling controlled. The kind that keeps you so confused about what's real that you stop trusting your own instincts entirely. He coercively controlled me for years, shaped me, shrank me, and did it so quietly I thought it was normal. That was my foundation. That is what I was built on. He made sure of it. At 17 years old, my father started feeding me pain pills. My father. The man who raised me, handed me drugs as a teenager. I need you to sit with that for a second. Because it wasn't an accident. It wasn't a mistake. It was the move of someone who wanted to keep me dependent, keep me manageable, keep me his. What starts at 17 doesn't stay small. 20 years later, fentanyl had me. 20 years of my life. If you know anything about fentanyl, you know that's not a habit you have. It's a life it takes. I wasn't living. I was just not quite dying either. I had been not quite dying for so long, I forgot there was another option. The pattern I couldn't see. In those 20 years, I had 4 relationships. 4 men. Every single one of them was a narcissist. Most were physically abusive. One was psychological, which people underestimate. But I'm here to tell you, psychological abuse will dismantle you just as completely. It just doesn't leave marks anyone can see. 4 men, the same wound, different faces. That's not bad luck. That's not a coincidence. That's what happens when a covert narcissist raises you, and you don't know what love is without control. You've never felt it. So when someone comes along who controls you while calling it love, it feels familiar. It feels safe. It feels like home. Because it's the only home I've ever known. I didn't understand that then, but something in me knew something was wrong. So I stopped. I just stopped dating completely. Told myself I wasn't doing it again until I figured out why I kept ending up in the same place. That was the first time I listened to myself. The first crack of light in 40 years of darkness. I didn't have the healing yet, but I had the awareness that I needed. And that matters. That was me, underneath of it all, fighting to see clearly. The house, the people, the breaking point. In 2017, my father, while he was sober and clear-headed, bought a house and put it in my name. He said he never wanted me trapped in a bad situation with a man again, like my second husband. He said it was mine. We lived there together because his health was failing, and I took care of him. That was our arrangement. In 2023, he let my 2 nieces and their father move in. I'll call him Brian, rent-free, until Brian got back on his feet. I want to be honest. I love those girls. I still do. Having them with me meant everything to me. But Brian made promises, big ones. Tax money was coming in the following year, and he laid exactly what he was going to do with it. Fix a bug infestation that had conveniently appeared right when they moved in. Buy a car to help get us out of poverty. Take his daughters shopping for clothes. His own children were counting on him. He gambled 75% of it away spent 20% on drugs and nonsense, bought a gun, and handed his daughter $200 to go to Goodwill to get their clothing. Mind you, it was $10,000 he had. Those girls were devastated. They told me. And I stood there looking at their faces knowing, I know this feeling. I grew up with this exact feeling, waiting on a promise that was never coming, and I could not fix it for them. Then came the moment that ended everything. Someone in the house left drugs on the floor. A puppy got into them. I had to Narcan a 12-year-old's puppy right in front of her. In my own house, a child watching while I brought her dog back to life. The next day I went to detox. That was April 17th of 2025. Not because I had a plan, not because I had support or money or somewhere safe to land, because I looked at those little girls' faces. I saw something